Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose presents Face to Face with Dion and Shawn. I am Dion.
And I'm Shawn.
Welcome. So I'm just gonna say it. This story today kind of infuriates me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The Ukrainian president, Zelensky, apparently has postponed the elections there indefinitely. We'll get into the article that kind of gets a little more in depth. But before we do, I just want to say, we've constantly been told over and over and over that the reason that we're shipping hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine is to protect democracy, right? We're fighting for democracy. Democracy's under attack. What's the other? Putin's war of aggression, right? Protect democracy. Protect democracy. Guess what? There's no fucking democracy there. So, Newsweek, the title of the article is, "Has Zelensky canceled Ukraine's elections?" Here's what happened.
Trying to justify it.
They're gonna, of course, they're gonna explain it away and say, "Oh, this is all for a good reason." But listen to this. As the conflict in Ukraine continues, President Zelensky has recently said, quote, "I believe that now is not the right time for elections." Of course you do. In a nightly video address on Monday, Zelensky said it was utterly irresponsible to engage in topics related to an election in such a frivolous manner. Pause and read in just a moment. These are just my interjections. Yes, God forbid you should hold an election while you're sending people off to die. Because maybe, just maybe, they would say, "We don't want to go die for you anymore."
It would be a good way to know what the Ukrainian people
think about this shit.
Yeah.
Yes, it would, but they don't care about that. No. Quote, "Now everyone should think about defending our country. We need to pull ourselves together, avoid unwinding and splitting up into disputes or other priorities," he said. "If there is no victory, there will be no country. Our victory is possible." Possible, he says. Our victory is possible. I would argue that I think it's full of shit because they're not doing well. To the tune of, I don't even know what the latest figures are, but there have been many, many, many Ukrainians that have been killed during this conflict.
And they're implementing a draft starting next month.
Yeah. Zelensky was, sorry.
So, that just shows that they're not doing well.
Right, because you don't need a draft if people are signing up.
Uh-huh.
And interestingly enough, all of the willing people who signed up they're dead. There's not many more left. So they got to figure something out. And instead of holding an election and having the people decide, we want to continue with this, or let's get rid of this clown. Of course not, because this is all or nothing for these people.
Uh-huh.
They're all in, man. And my personal belief, I think it goes far deeper than we're being told. The level of corruption there, the puppet strings, the various people that are involved in what's going on there, that's the deep state.
We definitely need an audit of all our funds that are going over there.
Yes. The article continues. Zelensky was elected for a 5-year term in March 2019, with presidential elections originally scheduled for March of 2024. So we're already a couple of months past due. Ukraine was due to hold a parliamentary election in October. So their parliament is like our Congress. Zelensky declared martial law on February 24th, 2022, the day Russian President Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine's constitution mandates that elections cannot go ahead until any declaration of martial law is lifted, which is unlikely to happen soon. Of course not. Some characterize the announcement as meaning that Zelensky had canceled elections.
Well, he did.
He fucking did. You guys can, you know what? This is typical of the left-wing rag that is Newsweek and most of these other papers and mainstream media, right? As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that if you go to a place like freaking Snopes and you put in "Did Zelensky cancel elections?" they're going to say mostly false or false, and then say, well, he didn't cancel the elections. As a matter of fact, their constitution states that if they're involved in martial law, that they can't have an election. Omitting the fact that Zelensky, the big piece of shit, is the one who is actually responsible for declaring martial law in the first place and can lift it at any moment.
Uh-huh.
Fuck that guy. Anyway, a post on X, formerly Twitter, by user @WarClandestine, posted on November 6, 2023, viewed 402,500 times, stated, quote, Zelensky to cancel Ukraine election. Says now is not the right time for elections and that Ukraine must dedicate all resources to defense. Zelensky holding Ukraine hostage and refusing to relinquish power. Zelensky has been upgraded to dictator. I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's a pretty damn good summary. This was a claim made earlier this year by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, a Republican, who said the biggest recipient of American welfare, Ukraine, canceled its next presidential election. Again, not wrong.
Yep.
Ukrainian law states that elections for the presidential office of Ukraine, Ukraine's parliamentary body, the Verkhovna Rada of the Autonomous Republic of Crimea, and local self-government bodies are prohibited under martial law. And then it goes into, Article 19 of the local regime of martial law states, blah, 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 blah. They can't hold elections while they're under martial law. Right? We get it. Martial law, and basically this is the thing that many people wanted Trump to do in 2020 with the election shenanigans. He chose not to, at least publicly. We have no idea. We can talk all day about what coulda, woulda, shoulda, mighta be, right? Or even is. But definitively speaking, it wasn't announced on the news, so it never happened. Anyway, Ukrainian parliamentarian Yaroslav Zelezniak announced on July 24, 2023, that martial law had been extended until November 15, 2023, supported by 347 votes with 14 abstentions and no votes against it. Martial law in Ukraine must be extended every 90 days.
So when was the last time it was extended?
A new extension lasting from November 16, 2023 to February 14, 2024 was approved earlier this week. Zelezniak reported on Wednesday, supported by 329 votes with 19 abstentions. Zelensky said during an interview with Ukrainian broadcaster 1+1 in August that to hold an election, Ukraine would need additional funding. Of course.
Wow.
Of fucking course. Give us more money. You want us to be a real democracy? We need more money. Give us more money. This dude sounds like my ex, bro. Every time I turn around, it's, I need more money. I need more money. Don't you care about me? Don't you love me? I really need that dress. I really need... F this guy, dude. Anyway, to ensure elections were, quote, legitimate and, quote, absolutely fair, using election observers on the front line of combat to ensure votes were cast fairly. Because money solves everything to these people. All we need is more money. Send us more money. Bruh.
And most likely we send them the money and
it's not going to happen.
It wouldn't happen anyway.
Yeah, exactly. How much money have we already sent these fucks?
A lot.
A whole lot.
At least 200 billion.
Way too much money. Way too much money. Newsweek has contacted the Ukrainian government via email for comment. What are they going to say? Like, what comment are they seeking? How much money do you want? That's the comment. Like, what do you think is an appropriate amount for us to pay you to fuck us? Like, what? Dude, anyway, whether an election can happen is theoretical, and the Ukrainian government could explore if the rules on elections during martial law could change.
You think?
Bruh. Okay. Or here's just a concept. Stop martial law
For just one day.
for long enough to have a fucking election. You decide who the people want and what they really want. And then boom, you go, I have a question. Let's see if you know. Do they use voting machines in Ukraine?
That's a good question.
I
My
don't know this. I'm
guess
curious.
is no. If I had to guess, probably
Let's
not.
see. Let's see here. Electronic online voting. Okay, so this was from 2021. It says the article considers the process of introduction of electronic voting in Ukraine. Okay. So they talked about it back in 2021, but I don't see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We have a new voting. This is from Atlantic Council. Ukrainian parliament finally moves to end multi-voting.
Multi-voting.
Yeah, the launch of a new voting system. This is from
NBC.
March 2nd, 2021. The launch of a new voting system in the country's parliament that should put an end to the widespread practice of Ukrainian MPs voting, on behalf of absent colleagues. Okay, yeah, that's not what multi-voting. Okay, so where somebody's not there, somebody else votes.
Proxy voting.
Proxy.
They had that in for our house, U.S. House.
Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for.
I doubt they do.
I don't know, man. Dude, I'm telling you, there's something. Anyway, I don't have the answer for that right now, which in and of itself is suspicious. Hold on. This was from 2021. Since December 2014, Ukraine has implemented two important reforms: decentralization and electoral reform. Okay. In 2020, both reforms were tested during the local elections. All right, so let's see what it says here. Major reforms occurred in 2019 when the electoral code was approved and a proportional electoral system with open party lists was introduced. Hold on, I'm going to get you guys in on this. Sorry. There we go. The last changes to the electoral code, mainly relating to local elections, were adopted just a few months before the election process got underway in the summer of 2020. Okay. Let's see here. I'm reading through here real quick. It doesn't actually say. It's just talking about various legislations and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not able to find the answer right now, and I'm not going to drag this out. So ultimately, what we're left with is Ukraine saying we can't hold elections because we're at war. So conveniently, there's no way for the people to tell their government whether they continue wanting this war. A few days ahead of Zelensky's announcement on Monday, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said the Ukrainian president was weighing the pros and cons of a presidential vote in spring 2024. Quote, We are not closing this page. The president of Ukraine is considering and weighing the different pros and cons, he said during an online appearance at the World Policy Conference in the United Arab Emirates on November 3rd. There would be any number of challenges in trying to hold an election. Of course, Newsweek's going to simp for these people, as well as the difficulties of ensuring a fair election across the country. Hold on. I just want to point out, right? Haven't we been told over and over and over and over that 2020's election was the most secure election in history?
Yep.
Why don't they just do that? Whatever we did here, since it was the most secure election in history, why don't they just do that in Ukraine? Because they know better. That's why. Because they know they're full of shit. As well as the difficulties of ensuring a fair election across the country, particularly with regions in the east of the country under Russian control, millions of displaced Ukrainians may be unable to vote or be able to process tools to ensure their vote is counted. Right. Yeah, and you know what? This guy here, the first comment on this post says, no, the Ukrainian election wasn't canceled. It was never going to happen. Imagine if President Donald Trump said, this is not the right time for elections. Can you imagine the absolute shit show and head exploding from the left? Oh,
They'd be in the streets.
Mike, dude, without a doubt. So I'm just going to say this, and then we'll wrap it up, because I think we've said what needs to be said here. Stop jerking us off and telling us we're supporting democracy, because we're not. It's a money laundering operation at best. At best. It's a way to shuffle money from the American taxpayer to some rich oligarchs.
That's what it looks like.
That's exactly what it is.
I don't have proof, but that's what it looks like.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my belief. Everything I say on this show is my belief, unless I point you to an article.
It might come out someday.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Ultimately, anyone who's against transparency, when we're sending you money, put it this way, right? When I was younger, I had a problem with money. I was really, really, really bad with it. So bad, in fact, that I was constantly going to my friends, hey, man, can I borrow a few bucks, right? And my buddy, he would always ask, what do you need it for, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. If I'm going to loan you money, I want to know what you're going to use it for. And there were a couple of times when I said, oh, dude, this new game came out, and, I really want it. And he's like, seriously? Like, you're going to borrow money from someone to get a video game? That's dumb. I'm like, you know what? That is kind of dumb. Like, it hit me. But always, if somebody is coming to you for money, I think you're perfectly well within your right to say, what are you going to do with it?
Uh-huh.
And we're vaguely told Ukraine's going to use it for defense. Okay, show us. No. We can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't do that. This is stupid. It's a clown show at this point. Like, you couldn't make it any more corrupt. If you drew the hierarchy chart, right, where the FBI, the old FBI shows, right, where the FBI was actually the good guys, and they were going after these criminals, and they'd make these org charts where they showed, the guy at the top of the chain, and then all the sub chiefs and the bosses, right, like The Wire. You ever seen The Wire?
I haven't.
On HBO? But... Dude, you're killing me with all the stuff you haven't seen. This guy, man, he has not seen some of the greatest movies of all time. Anyway,
isn't that a show, The Wire?
It was a series that was on HBO. Actually, really, really, really good. Like, really good. Anyway, they built this org chart, right, where they show the head guy in charge at the top, and then the various lieutenants, and then the various capo, and all this, all the way down to foot soldiers, right? And we need a chart like that showing who got what portion of my money.
Our tax dollars.
Our tax dollars, exactly. So to the people of Ukraine, you guys are awesome. I got no problem with you.
Nope.
Right? to the leadership of Ukraine, as Elon Musk says, go fuck yourself.
Did Elon really say that?
Yeah, and he wasn't talking about them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah. Elon Musk. Did you see the video where he said that he was talking to the advertisers on X?
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoed this.
I thought you were referring to Ukraine.
No. That would be kind of epic. But no, he didn't. Look, I don't think anybody with super media visibility like that would say that, just because he's already a target. But I'm sure some people are thinking it at this point. I know I am. So it is what it is.
Yep.
I hope you have a great evening, and we will talk to you again very, very soon. God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. And I'll even add the people of Ukraine, the civilians, because
not the government.
Not the government. No. Stop spending my money. Good night.
Exactly.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Shawn Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.